So let's talk about a little bit of drama right now because Manny Mua is proving to be a liar once again. Like, not
And we're
shocked at all. This is
surprised.
this is making me think like back to like the Morphe foundation concealer that Manny tried to pull when he put the copyright claim, I believe it was, on T-Spill's video just until after the launch. So, you know, maybe his code could be used or something bullshit. That video that Manny did hyping up that Morphe foundation or concealer was such bullshit because he was like ragging on it in the video, and then at the end he's like, you guys should go check it out, it's so great, it's amazing. Definitely talk about selling your soul for a paycheck.
Well, I mean, that's what Manny's known for, is it not? Like, he's like the wind. Whatever's popular at the moment is what he's for. I don't think for one second that Manny's not doing this without the intention of James sometime in the future promoting Lunar Beauty.
Well, if you guys don't know, Manny has uploaded a review over on TikTok of the painted paints from James Charles' brand that just launched. This is very interesting because he already like came out in support of Colleen Ballinger, who was getting exposed for some very horrible things to the point where they had to delete the Full Coverage podcast. And now here Manny is once again publicly supporting someone who has come online in a video that is now deleted, but you can still find the re-upload. James Charles admitted to the things that people were saying about him.
And I finally came to a conclusion. It sucks and it is ridiculously embarrassing to admit this, but I think I have to, and that is that I'm desperate.
Of course he did, girl. It's always been right out there in the open.
So in Manny's video, he was putting on such a great performance, trying to pretend that these paints were good, but the faces, like Manny has one of those faces that you can just tell how he's actually feeling. He can't fake it for shit. It did not look like he was that into them, at least in my own humble opinion.
I think it's time for a brutally honest review of Miss Painted. First and foremost, the aesthetic I think is fantastic. I really do like the clean white finish. Look how big the sponge is. Bitch. I have no blush on because I want to use the pink one, Miss Pinky Promise, as blush today. I'm gonna take a little bit and really pat, okay. Well, we're gonna take a little bit and we're gonna pat it out and then see where we go from here. That's lovely. Look how pigmented these are, you guys. Holy crap. I'll say you have a good like 15 seconds before they dry down too. So be aware of that. Like, you don't have forever to blend them out, but you do have a good amount of time. Okay, so we're back and my base is on. Back and my base is on. I wanna use Cold Brew, like all over my lid, like almost like a brown smoky eye. And then I wanna do Miss Ink as an eyeliner to see how these hold up. I'm curious. It's super tiny dot, it's too small. Do you know what I wish this had? I wish that the little eye set actually had a really dense, small blender. I wish it had a dense, small, fluffy, synthetic blender. I wish it had that. Something like this. Do you see how it's a small, dense blender? Very packed. I wish it had something like that. James for the next one. Brushes are very beautiful though. They're very sleek and I believe they are like in the $8 range. Taking J1 and we're gonna put it all over the lid and then I'll blend out after with the dense blender. Look how like full coverage this is. A little dense blender I was talking about. And we're going to run that and I'm gonna kind of blend out to make a smoky eye. I will say immediately that these are extremely pigmented and very easy to blend out because they are blending. I was a little nervous because, you know, a paint, you never know, but they're very thin but full coverage. Okay, J5 brush and the ink black shade. And let's see how it goes on. Extremely black. Full coverage, very pigmented. Wow, I like it. I feel like it dries down to a really nice matte finish. That's pretty sickening, bitch. By the way, I did add a powdered blush and a little bit of highlighter on top of the cream. So I don't want you to think like, oh my God, look at the blush. It's like, yes, it's my base blush and it was great, but I have powder and I have highlight on top. Lastly, let's take Left on Red and we're gonna put that on the lips and see if we can use it as a lipstick. These are so shockingly thin and full coverage. It's actually kind of like a gag. This is it on the lips. Very full coverage. It's a little dry for me. I feel like I'm not really into like the mattifying lips anymore. And this is pretty matte, like, oh. Yeah. Damn. Even the Glock 3000. Overall, my first impressions review, I actually think that these are fantastic. I like the way they dry down. They dry to a nice matte finish. They're very thin, but full coverage, and they blend really nicely and easily. So I'm gonna keep playing with them. I'm gonna keep trying them out, and overall, I'm very impressed.
People were saying that the second video that Manny uploaded, they think that he was trying to be funny.
Where are the jokes?
Because the mustache and the beard and all that shit didn't match, and it looked like he tried to fill it in with that shit, and it didn't work.
With the Predator
girl.
So something else that I found funny about Manny's video was he was clearly using the beauty filter or some kind of filter over on TikTok, because when he turned his head, you could see all the pores on the one cheek, but that nose, that chin, those lips were blurred a little bit. It was blurry, girl. It was blurry. So the fact that people are clocking him for having such patchy eyeshadow, because that brown paint that he put on his eyes was patchy as you could tell that with the beauty filter on, which is something that blurs things. So you're not going to tell me that these paints are not dry. The lips look dry in my opinion. His cheeks did look like it had a little bit of like a dewy gloss, but that honestly could have just been oil. I don't know. Well, I don't know if he was like a little greasy. I have not seen anyone really, definitely not these larger beauty influencers, using that red paint right around their eye. Even James, when he had like the launch party makeup on, it was like down a little bit from the eye. It wasn't put up there. Like they know better about that staining and shit. I'm just waiting for the first person. I hope to God it's not Cody Rants coming back with another James Charles stain my eyelids video, trying to get her redemption arc, because she'll think that's like camp and she'll try to do that. No, but someone's gonna do it. Someone's gonna say it. Someone's gonna say it.
It's 1,000,000% gonna happen. There's gonna be somebody out there that bought that just because they don't like James Charles, and they're gonna see if it does that to him. And when it does, they're gonna act shocked, and then they're really gonna be pissed.
Manny, after he was getting a lot of negative feedback for the video that he uploaded, he made a second video where he was trying to correct it, and he was letting everyone know. I don't even know how many times in this video, but it's a lot. That he said that he has vitiligo around his eyes, so it's a little bit lighter because of pigmentation.
Let's try this again, shall we? So I have a lot of comments in this video about the brown paint looking patchy on camera. I'm gonna show you guys in real time how it goes on. No edits, no cuts when applying it. I'm gonna take the Cold Brew by Painted, so you guys can see. So I have vitiligo, right? It's a skin condition where I lose pigment in areas of my face, and I have it all around my eyes. And that's why my eyes are so veiny, because I'm missing a lot of pigment there. So when you're applying something like this, which is a cream, it's gonna go on darker where I apply it, and then as I'm blending it outwards, it's going to lighten up. So let's take a little bit of it, not a lot. I mean, if you want to take a lot, absolutely take a lot, but I'm just taking a little bit because I want to just apply it. So where I'm applying it, it is very, pigmented, full coverage. And as I'm going outwards, I'm blending it, and it's getting lighter because I'm using lighter pressure, and I'm actually blending the shade. It's not that it's patchy, it's that the part where it's a little bit more sheer as I'm blending is showing more of my veins because of my vitiligo. So I know it might have looked patchy on camera, it's very HD on this camera, but I promise you, it's actually not patchy. It's really not. And you can just continuously blend. It's not a hard thing to blend out. You just keep going lighter and lighter with the pressure. So it starts off dark, and then as you go out, it blends out. But as you can see, it's not that it's patchy. It's that my veins, because of my vitiligo, pop through, and it seems like, it's kind of like patchy looking, This I'm actually gonna take an eyeshadow that's a brown, just an actual plain eyeshadow, a powder eyeshadow, a brown shade. I'm gonna apply this with no primer, just like I did the paint, and you will see that even eyeshadow can look a little patchy without a base. The reason I'm not using a base for the paint is because I was actually using the paint as my base. So as I'm applying a dark shadow, you can see that as I'm blending it away, it's starting to show my veins and things going through. So a lot of people that were like, oh, when you do your eyeshadow, it doesn't look patchy like that, because I usually have a full coverage base on my eyes because of my vitiligo. So that's kind of why I kind of wanted to explain it, because I think a lot of people were, saying that like either I was not applying the product correctly or it just looked like shit, but it actually isn't. It actually isn't, So once I keep applying this shadow, as you can see, it can be full coverage here, and then it'll look a little more patchy out here because I'm blending it out, but it's not a patchy shade. Does that make sense? Cream, powder. So I hope this gave a little bit more insight on how the product works. It's not that it's patchy. I have missing color on my skin, and so I can't help it. And so sometimes it might look patchy So I apologize for that.
Some people over on Twitter were commenting back to me saying that they have vitiligo, and that is simply not true. He just must have like the driest of eyelids. But again, it looked patchy underneath the beauty filter as well. Why would you not use an eye base? If you have vitiligo around your eyes to the point, I don't know if it actually can, please let me know down in the comment section, if vitiligo around your eyes can affect makeup application. I'm not sure. If that is something, as a makeup artist, if you're doing YouTube videos, any kind of influencing like that, why don't you tell people that and say, it might look a little different, it might not be the product, but I'm going to use this base. Like do one eye without it and then do one eye with the base. It's really not that hard.
You know who's going to come out next because Manny's already dipped his toe in. You know Laura Lee's going to upload her review.
To disappoint you all who have supported me for so many years and know that I'm better than that person.
Oh my god!
You think James Charles gave Laura Lee a PR kit, or do you think that Laura will just use Manny?
No, I think that James Charles definitely gave the paint can. The paint can was cute. I liked the paint can. That was a great idea for him. I've seen other places do it. It's like a company that does like the paint can things. I've seen it like on the Kardashians or something. But it was cool. It was a cool paint can. It was.
It's not
my thing
original.
No, but the other thing. Well, but what is? He made eye paint.
That's fair too.
But do you know who else did paints like that this year? Lady Gaga.
Well,
What's
she
another
has
brand that
clown.
did it?
I know Nyx had one for sure. Nyx had one, and it's like $5, and James is charging what, $14 or $15?
$15 per Predator paint. But something that I thought was funny about Manny's video was the fact that he started it out saying that this was going to be a brutally honest review. Whenever Manny or any influencer is telling you that something is about to be brutally honest, you are about to be served the biggest plate of bullshit that you have ever had to feast on, bitch. Don't leave no crumbs. No. When he said that, I was like, oh, we're in for it now. These are going to be the most amazing paints, can't live without. No, he literally said these are so easy to blend. Yeah, with patchiness, bitch. Where's it blending? Away. Moisturize your eyelids. People were saying that he has dry eyelids, so maybe he just needs to moisturize. Get a better eye cream.
Truly, honestly, though, I can't wait for James Charles. There's inevitably going to be somebody that's going to have an issue. We're probably due for it now in the next couple of days because people are probably just now receiving it, you know?
No, but I wonder how James is going to react to that as a CEO, because will he have the normal first-time CEO freak out on people the way that Jaclyn did with the lipsticks when she told that girl that she had dry, crusty lips? Yeah. And that's what was happening to her lipstick. That is still so crazy that Jaclyn tried to call that girl out and say that the reason her lipstick looked like shit. No, she didn't. We all held Jaclyn's feet to the fire on that one because that was a bitch move. It was a little funny. I did laugh a little bit because it was shady.
She never took accountability for that. She knew she was being a bitch when she said that shit to that girl.
Of course. You know? Of course she was being a fucking bitch.
My jaws hurt from laughing.
Nice. Didn't Manny have some drama with, who was it, Jordan Byers for the whole brutally honest thing? Because wasn't she like, I was saying it first and then Manny took it, copied her?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Yeah, because she started calling Manny out for taking that from her, and then he acted like he didn't take it from her. But I have like receipts of him actually taking it from her.
I remember him saying something along the lines of, I've never seen your content or something, you know, like the typical way an influencer responds to someone because they're so high up there they just cannot see the peons down below with the several subscribers.
Manny's so
annoying. Yeah.
Manny, that's what gets me about Manny. He acts like he's better than all of these people, but he's not.
Yeah.
He acts like he's above talking about people behind their back. He does. Yeah. And he is not better than anybody.
My favorite about Manny and Laura definitely has to be the fact that they used to rag on drama channels and talk trash about them all the time just to become what they hate. But they're not a drama channel, y'all. It's different because
hell no, they're in the drama channel because they can't even get anything right. I would rather they not refer to themselves as drama channels because that would be doing us a disservice.
Having to delete episodes for coming on and trying to defend Colleen Ballinger with the allegations that were out there against her, not knowing anything about the situation, fixing their mouth to talk about serious allegations. Like, stupid.
No, what it was for me, what like one of the major things, and I didn't point it out. I didn't realize it until people started commenting. Laura said, "Well, the cat's out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag." What, Laura? Was what?
Out of Jaclyn's bag.
what did you know, Laura? Because to say something's out of the bag, that would be referring to yourself knowing something that other people didn't know, and then it's being exposed. So what did you know, Laura? Okay, so it would not be a podcast of Dick and I if we did not bring up Jaclyn Hill, because Jaclyn Hill is on her shit again, you guys.
I feel like Jaclyn Hill is just going to permanently stay on her shit. Like, she tried to fool everyone in her "I'm closing all my brands" video and tried to say that she didn't want to seem like an ad. She hated it that every time she came online, it seemed like she was shoving something down someone's throat, just to upload her next video, which was her beauty favorites, which every single link was a magically reward style link that she got some kind of kickback for. So it's
with
like,
the most
you couldn't
expensive
even
items
go,
at the top.
Yeah, you couldn't even go one video. I challenge Jaclyn, go a week without mentioning any fucking product that you want people to go and find in your Amazon
for a
store.
week, girl, because then she just won't upload for a week. You gotta make it a video. Go one video.
No, one video.
No, two videos.
I saw some people online like toying around with the idea that maybe Jaclyn was kind of like fibbing, and she's closing all of her brands video to try to get sympathy from people, because you know she put on the tears for everyone. She was so upset that she did the bare minimum. She was taking accountability. Well, a lot of people are thinking that maybe she did that so people will rush over to buy these items, and then she'll be like, the love and support that you guys showed me really like makes me know and lets me know that you guys want these brands, so I'm gonna stick with it. They were sending out an email that over the weekend it was like up to 65% off of some things, so something from $70 went down to like the actual price it's supposed to be at $25, not the ridiculous markup. But the sale ended and everything went back to regular price apparently. So it's like, if you are closing your businesses, shuttering your doors, wouldn't you be selling off all of your stock? Like, you would have a sale so people want to buy it. Maybe no one bought it during the sale.
Jaclyn Hill is out of touch with reality. She came out with these blankets right after a pandemic that were, how much are these blankets? Like $125?
I think that one might have been a little bit more expensive. I think there were two blankets that she did.
This is the post-pandemic world we're talking about.
She came out with luxury PJs, which I love a luxury PJ. I have many pairs downstairs. But if you're going to spend money on something like that and you want like quality, go with an established brand that has been around for like a long time, like Eberjade. Like, it's so comfortable. That bullshit that Jaclyn was pushing, like, you know, speaking of cozy and those blankets that you were talking about, a lot of people were thinking that Jaclyn might be on the outs with her sister Rachel, because you know that Rachel is allegedly the one that was running the Jaclyn Hill closet account, that all the like immediately when Jaclyn Hill uploaded something, they just knew exactly where it was from, how much it cost, where people could buy it, like all that kind of shit. I'm sure that the links that were provided on that page as well were probably reward style magically links.
For sure, girl.
That Instagram account has been shut down, banned. I don't know which one it was, but it's gone. Rachel was posting over on her Instagram story like probably a few weeks before, maybe a few weeks to a month before Jaclyn uploaded this about closing the brands. She was posting other blankets on her story I saw over on Reddit and saying that these are the most comfortable blankets. I love them so much. Why would you do that if your sister has the most cozy, dreamy, buttery, creamy, whatever blanket on her website? You can get it for free.
Can we
Jaclyn probably charges her family
the things that are not fucking food as buttery and creamy? I've had my fill. Jaclyn has ran that into the ground. Manny followed suit and ran it into the ground. It's like, just stop. Find something. Find another descriptor, please. Thank you.
One thing that I saw with Jaclyn is that Sal guy from Farsali, he uploaded a video over on TikTok, kind of like calling Jaclyn out, but was doing it in a very respectful way, and at least in my opinion. And in his video clip, a part that I found very interesting was, you remember when Farsali first went viral back in the day? They had like the setting spray or the face mist. I think it had like a little bit of glitter in it or something. A very pretty thing that was hyped up all over social media. Jaclyn Hill was one of the people that put that on YouTube and was bringing attention to the brand, saying she loved it. But then all of a sudden something switched with Jaclyn, as it normally does when Jaclyn either can dupe it or just rip that person off. All of a sudden, this Farsali one that she literally told everyone that she sprayed her face like 5 to 10 times. In between there, she could not understand why it wasn't drying down, because you just emptied half the bottle on your face. You emptied half the bottle on your face. Like, how do you not think it's drying down? So then, like, miraculously after that, she launched a setting spray or face mist. Isn't that interesting that Jaclyn does that?
But there's actually nothing funny about it whatsoever. There's nothing funny about the way I handled it. There's nothing funny about what came of it.
You burned one too many bridges. Not just friends or followers, but people from the industry.
They were yes men. I was surrounded by yes men.
I'm not a yes man. So I'll give you some honest business advice as someone who can relate to some of the struggles that you mentioned. I'll be respectful, but I'll tell you things that you don't want to hear. I'll start with the positives. I truly appreciate the support that you've given our brand in the past.
All I can say is this is hot fire.
Even though there was one incident.
And then depending, if I feel like I'm still not as glowy as I want to be, I'll go in with a second layer, or a third, or a seventh. All right, you guys, so no lie, I have been trying to get this to dry for 5 minutes. I don't understand what's happening.
When people called you out for misusing our skin mist to announce the launch of your setting spray, I still appreciate your support. I also agree with your thoughts on prioritizing self-care and mental health.
Take care of your heart, take care of your mind, take care of your mental health.
You achieved a lot of financial success in your career, and you accomplished a lot of things that most people will never be able to do in their lifetime. So I hope that you're proud of yourself, because we're our own worst critic and we deserve to be kind to ourselves. But we also need to be honest with ourselves.
And I don't care about the money at this point. Money was a driver, fame was a driver.
We all care about money. If you didn't care about the money or the fame, you'd leave social media. And there have been influencers who've done that. So let's start with honesty.
Down in the comment section, you know Marlena Stell has been exposing Jaclyn for a good long while. Said she's going to come out with some more stuff. I think she's going to go on another podcast. Jen Gerard is actually going to come forward and say some shit as well and tell her story, because Jaclyn's not a good person, you guys. That's really what I want to say about that. I saw down in his comment section, somebody was responding to Marlena saying, I feel like you say this because of your negative experiences with Jaclyn. Were these videos about you? The tune may be different. She responded to her. Okay. And I thought this was a great response from Marlena. No, she said, I wouldn't have videos about me. I don't repeatedly lie, steal other people's brands and connections, and do shady behavior. And Jaclyn Hill honestly would be in a different boat right now if she didn't literally trample over everyone on the way up, because she's on the way down right now, and everyone is saying hello to her once again. Everything that's happening with her and her businesses is Jaclyn's doing. Jaclyn comes online, tries to place blame on people gossiping and making videos and talking about her. People can't talk about you unless you make a move. So
that's true.
What is it? Because you say that everyone's a liar. It seems that everything that people are saying about you has been proven to be true. It's like these conspiracy theories out on these streets. Since we're talking about makeup drama right now, I want to talk about Jeffree Star and Meredith Duxbury. So Meredith Duxbury has come out with this collection with Morphe. It's like a few palettes. She has a foaming face primer and like a few lip shades, I believe. But the drama comes with this foaming face primer that she has, because if you look at the packaging, it looks very similar to Jeffree Star's cotton candy thing that he came out with, like, what, 6 months ago, I believe. It's 6 months, a little bit more that it came out, if that. I originally uploaded a video about this to my YouTube channel on the dailies, and I was talking about how I don't think that Meredith Duxbury was actually shading Jeffree because she has used a foaming face primer in the past. She did one with, I believe it was Flower Beauty is the one that she reviewed. So I thought maybe she took inspiration from that. But lo and behold, the day that I uploaded that video, she uploaded a video to TikTok and she was saying, look at my foaming primer. It looks so much like cotton candy, doesn't it?
Let's create a cotton candy inspired makeup look. My foam primer with Morphe literally looks like cotton candy and smells like it too.
First of all, that changed my opinion that she was throwing shade at Jeffree Star. I'm sure that that was a big you from her, now that I think back on Jeffree Star shading her, because remember, he was the one that was going after her for the influencer gap, and so like he was making fun of her. So now that I think about that and look at everything, I'm like, girl, she was shading him, and now he's been posting that cotton candy bullshit over on his Instagram story more. You know what, I'm here for the pettiness, Meredith Duxbury. You know what, good for her if that's what happened. And you know what, honestly, in my mind, that is what happened, and I'm gonna stick to that. I'm gonna stick to that. I would like to believe that Meredith Duxbury is shady.
We'll see. You know, Jeffree will throw shade at her no matter what, because once he gets wind of that, he'll probably be pissed.
No, I think that Jeffree might have wind of it. Of course Jeffree has wind of it. He was so like intertwined with Morphe, so how would he not keep up with what they're doing and like what their new launches are and all that?
Girl,
he's seen it.
I give a
He's seen it. Someone in his team sent it. Going back to James Charles' painted launch real quick, something that I've noticed is a lot of people are trying to jump on this color theory thing that James has been pushing. Like, you can make your best foundation shade ever. It's going to be the perfect match. They didn't think that it looked that great when James did it, to be completely honest. It was still off. But James is like the king or queen of not matching his foundation. I mean,
nothing
ever.
He's the queen or king of nothing.
This other TikToker, I can't think of what her name is right now, but she claims that her and James are best friends. Now, that's not something that I think that someone should really be bragging about on social media. Like, my best friend is James Charles. A little creepy. She did the color match thing with her makeup, and holy Shit. I don't know what in the banana was going on. She looked so yellow. Like, girl, fix your face. What is happening? Don't do the color theory. Like, if you're going to show these paints or anything like that, do some kind of cool design on your eye or something if you're not worried about getting a rash. But don't do your full face. There are so many products out there that you can get the perfect shade of foundation.
You know what he's
mixing
doing?
it yourself.
James is trying to like corner the market in one product, and that's just not possible. He was telling people to put that shit in their water line and all of that. Like, he's gonna end up getting in so much trouble, and he don't even realize it yet. Like, James is a liability to himself.
All of those ingredients that are apparently not FDA approved that are inside of these paints, like, it's only he must have great business insurance for something like this, because I guess that he just took a page out of Morphe's book and is like, you know what, let's just slap it in there. People are going to be dumb enough to buy it without looking into it. Because how many times do you go out and you buy a new product and you're not sitting there looking at the ingredients? You're not trying to figure out what's inside of it. You just think it's going to be a good product because maybe you saw it somewhere in social media or something.